Hi everyone, Erwin here with Coach Steve.
Hello.
This is the Truth About Real Estate Investing, and we drove through a snowstorm to bring you this property here in Trenton, Ontario. Steve, what's the big deal? What's happening is going on in Trenton, Ontario?
Quinte West, we like to call it Quinte West, big area, but Trenton is a great market if you're looking to invest. Purchase prices are very reasonable. The community here is beautiful, well established, big trees, great people. The Army base is less than a couple kilometers away from this location. 401 extension, and the 401 is just up the way, actually, not the extension. And this house behind me is a prime example of where the numbers really make sense.
Yeah, and just to give you a quick overview, for example, this is like what, a 55-foot lot by like 130.
Yes.
We got a two-car detached garage in the back. We got a 1,200 square foot bungalow.
Yeah.
And we paid what?
$440,000.
You heard that right, $440,000. We're here in Trenton, Ontario, and we're gonna do a tour inside the property if you're interested, so follow along.
Check it out.
Hey everyone, we are touring our client's basement apartment conversion, and as you can see, it's done. It's move-in ready. No, it's not. Steve, what are we looking at here?
Welcome to the nitty-gritty of duplex conversions. And we're in our standard 1960s bungalow that my client took advantage of last summer and got a great purchase price at the time. We were able to pick this up for $440,000. And so
I think deserves a pause. $440,000.
$440,000. We're about a just under 1,200 square foot bungalow, 1,100 square foot bungalow with tons and tons of ceiling height.
Great ceiling height. Steve and I are both 6 feet tall, so this is getting close to 8.5.
Yeah, so we've got lots of good things going on with this property when we picked it up. Our lot that we're on is oversized as well, in that same vintage of a 60s bungalow. So we've got enough room in the backyard for future garden suites. And we had this old basement from an elderly couple that was really finished but not finished well, and so completely gutted and redone. And we're getting ready, contractors are getting ready to board up. Actually today, we're slowing them down today. They're going to get
we'll get out of the way.
We're going to get out of their way shortly.
So how long has it been since they started putting this back together?
We started, or my client started, the actual construction process right around New Year. So we're about 60 days in.
Oh, okay.
There was a pause from when he had purchased to when he had actually started the construction, because he was just trying to figure out his strategy of, does he rent out the whole house first and then come back and do the duplex later? He had got it at such a great purchase price that it would have cash flowed actually as a single family rental. So there was a pause in which he was trying to figure it all out. But once he decided to move forward, we were able to get him into some good contractor discussions. He was able to actually get 4 quotes. If you're out there, it's incredible. He got 4 full quotes on contractors. Some of you right now may think that's crazy, but
that is crazy.
He got 4 full quotes.
Because you can ask for 4 quotes,
but you never
they ain't
get
coming
them.
back.
You never get them. So this time he actually got 4 quotes and was able to kind of take his time with the reno.
And that's a key point. If you have strong relationships out there, like we do with our contractors, then you can get you get better results. So Steve, what are we looking at here? What are these things hanging from the ceiling?
So here's
what's all this greenness up here?
Your future LED lights are what you're seeing. These are the boxes on the back side of the drywall that will be hidden away. This silver stuff here is what's called resilient channeling. That is put in and is part of Ontario Building Code, because that is going to be for your noise transfer. Your rock sol insulation is in here for fire separation and gives you a little bit of sound dampening as well. And then a lot of this that you're seeing is plumbing. We've got PEX pipes coming through the backside for really clean plumbing lines. And eventually we will have the whole thing drywalled and getting ready to get to tape and mud.
And on my right, we have some beautiful windows for natural light.
Yeah, so
this is not a common setup.
This is not a common setup. And actually, when we were here, when we purchased the property, there were very small windows. The original small windows were here. And client went forward and increased light requirements. So we got some more natural light in this basement by putting these big jumper windows, or second points of egress windows into the property. You can see kind of, if you're looking, we had to dig out, or the contractor had to dig out for new window weepers that go all the way down and tie in, and brand new drainage, and that's our driveway over there. So
you could host a party here and we could all climb out the windows together if we had to, should there be a fire.
there's really no worry. I mean, let's jam this place up and see what we can get out the window. Clown show. But the layout of this property is going to be really, really cool because it is a large footprint. So what we're standing in the living room right now. Towards the back side of this property will be a kitchen across the back wall, and there'll actually be another island set up, small island across on the horizontal. And so you have a separation of living room from the actual kitchen, and this is your main chunk of living space. Now, you may not believe this, because Erwin didn't believe me, but this is a 2+ den.
Which is uncommon.
Very uncommon. So there are bylaws in place locally putting 2-bedroom limits on most of our basement apartments here, but the space warranted an additional space. So we're able to get a den in here, which could be / work from home / yoga room / whatever you kind of want to do with it.
/ you can stick your mother-in-law in there or a toddler, whatever you want to do in the den.
Something. So all of our bedrooms are towards this backside. If we go through here, you're going to need to put your visionary caps on and kind of figure out what we're looking at. Some of the drywall's up, so it gives you a good idea. This would be bedroom number 1 that you're walking into. Again, notice we have lots of height. Another key component about this property, when we purchased it, the old furnace, which was incredibly old and needed to be changed anyways, was located right here. If you look at the floor, you can kind of see where I'm standing. They painted around what the old floor was. And so this furnace unit needed to be changed. So my client went forward and got a new furnace put in, but we've moved it to the back of the property. And in doing that, we freed up all the space, which gave us room for an extra bedroom. It was hard to envision it in its original condition because this was all closed in, and fitting 2 bedrooms in here was a little tricky.
Yeah, key number is 2 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms get us more rent than 1 bedroom. Really important thing that we have that second bedroom.
Absolutely, absolutely. So closets towards the back side of the room, and then you've got your window, and then doorway through here. Coming into this room, this would be a small linen closet into your bathroom. You can see the tub's already installed, and we've got all of our setup for toilet and vanity. Really standard look to our bathroom there. And then going into the back here, again, no electrical yet, so a little dark in this room, but there will be a brand new window cut into the back side of that large wall. It's all framed out, it's ready to go. We're just getting the final passes on the front windows, and then we'll be cutting into this second room and adding the light over here as well. So plenty of space. This will be bedroom number 2, the larger of the 2 bedrooms, and also tucked towards the front half of the house. So as far as noise is concerned, 1 bedroom is in the back, and the secondary bedroom, or the primary bedroom, is to the front.
I like the primary. I'm glad you caught yourself, because we are woke individuals.
I am an old school realtor of 15 years, so primary is a tough word for me to say, but it works. And so then you'll have a bigger closet here and lots of space. Again, tons of head height, and we're looking to have this thing look and feel like it's more than a basement apartment.
And just to give you context, I know you can't tell from just watching this in the video, but this room is about 12.5 by 11.5.
Yeah.
So which is a very good size. And again, there will be a new bedroom. The window's already cut. It's just covered with the drywall right now.
Covered with the drywall. We just need to get that all finalized. All right.
All right, Steve, let's talk numbers.
Talk numbers. So upstairs, again, we just have our traditional 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. So you will have a nice rent out there. We're looking at a purchase price of $440,000. We've got construction costs coming in somewhere around that same 115 range, 115,000. When all is said and done with our finishings, we should be looking at $1,800 to $1,900 of rent coming out of this basement apartment. I hesitate because I think I can get more with the den here, but I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to say $1,800 to $1,900. And then upstairs, we're fully anticipating $2,100 to be a very similar number as to what we're seeing in the marketplace right now for the upstairs bungalow. To give you context, a full house rental right now in this area is about $2,600 to $2,800 a month. The brand new builds are renting around $3,200 a month. So there's not a lot of options if you're looking for a house as a tenant. You either are going up to $2,800, and in which case you're carrying for somewhere around $3,400 with all of your bills. And in this case, you can get half the house, but you're going to be closer to the $2,100 rate, which is actually looks like a pretty good deal when you're looking at it with finishes that you're going to get here. Okay, so we purchased this property for $440,000. The property tax here is about $2,700, $2,800 a year. So we're gonna have a monthly bill of just under $300 of property tax. Our insurance on this property will be $250 to $300 depending on carrier. And property management in this local area is about $200 for the entire property, $100 a door. We're anticipating close to $4,000 a month in rental income. And our mortgage will land, depending whether we refinance the property or not, should land somewhere around $2,600 to $2,700, depending on where we're at, on our purchase price, in which we had, again, a $440,000. So all in all, this property, if there is no refi, will cash flow upwards of $800+ a month. If there is a refinance and some capital or equity is pulled out of the property, that will obviously come down, but we'll still be cash flow positive north of $300 to $500 a month.
Fabulous. And then just so you know, this, for the beginner investor, this may look difficult to you, but honestly it isn't. Our client is a new investor, a working professional in Toronto area. They live nowhere near Trenton, Ontario, but because they have a team here to make this possible, Coach Steve and the contractors that we help introduce them to, anyone can make this happen.
Yeah, and I think ultimately, you know, as you're going through it, it's a learning curve. The first one of anything is always the hardest thing. And then once you get into your rhythm, these become very easy and predictable. There's always something that's going to go wrong. It's construction, but generally you get a good rhythm and you start to figure out and get your team in place, and from your drafting guys to your contractors, property management, all of that kind of works out the more you do.
Mm-hmm. Key is team, because understand investing is a team sport, and the stronger the team, the stronger the investment.
Yeah, and like my client and I have had many conversations just going through different scenarios within this renovation and what could you do and what can't you do, and kind of figuring it all out. So it's definitely something that is a learning experience, and I think it's been a lot of fun for me, and I think he's had some fun too. So
I think he enjoys the numbers.
Yeah, he's a numbers guy. Yeah.
And he's happy with these numbers.
Yeah, again, it's another property that when all is said and done, this thing should be cash flowing, even in today's interest rates, somewhere north of $500 a month. As those interest rates adjust, as we know they're going to eventually, these numbers will just increase over time. You add in the mortgage pay down, you add in a lot of these things, and you start to see this. These are very easy investments for retail investors in real estate.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So this is the key thing that was a big issue when we first got the property. How do you do it if there's no separate entrance for the side separate entrance?
I love it.
I was a little creative on this one because I could see this as coming together, and I don't think a lot of people did. So what will be happening is our main...
Oh, sorry, Steve, just a moment. Like, the fact that most people do not do this for a living, so they do not see how to make this work, and therefore they don't offer on this property, which helps us get it for a better price.
I think so, yeah. And it's all I think about, and all you think about is like, how do we duplex these type of houses? So it was, you know, kind of a good idea for us. So what we were looking at is we have two doors, generally less than 10 feet apart, into the same room. 9 times out of 10, that's a disqualifier. There's nothing we can do here. The advantage was, though, that we did have the entrance to our basement in very close proximity to one of those doors. And so what is going to happen here is this will be all walled off, and the separation will occur for the basement from this point down, and the main floor will just rotate over, and we'll have this dining room set up here, small area, could be workspace, could be office, could be a lot of things. And then we've got our traditional kitchen into the back. So you do have this side separate entrance effect, but it did not come as easily as somebody might have assumed, but can be done.
And this is still a big kitchen.
Very large, and it added to this thing where The only thing we created is what do we do with this new space that we're gonna have here, because we are gonna lose a little bit of the footprint once we close everything off. But it isn't detrimental. The space has lots of natural light and it definitely can be used for something.
So just in case anyone's thinking, I can never live in a place this small, that's not how we think of as investors. We have to put ourselves in the shoes of our tenants. And this is actually a pretty big property for what tenants are experiencing. For example, Adam, our cameraman, is standing in what I would have as our eat-in kitchen.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of rentals do not have eat-in kitchens.
Yeah, exactly. And like as you come through this space, you can kind of get a lay of the land. The kitchen that is here was here. We're not planning on doing very much work to this space at all. This old area that was essentially a closet and not being used is now going to be where our new laundry is going to go. Our stackable laundry unit will come into here. So everything's kind of condensed into this space. We have this really, really big living room with the original hardwoods in it. And so lots of big windows and light. This becomes a very easy space to live in for the tenants. Away from the kitchen and away from the bedrooms. And then you have our traditional 3-bedroom layout towards the back of the house, which comes with a finished bathroom where we need to do almost no work. So the other good thing about this property is it has oversized bedrooms. If you come into here, which would be the primary bedroom, very large space, and actually has a Juliet door into the bathroom as well. So you do have the accessibility. Now our back bedroom, which is, of the 3, the smaller, also picks up the panel. So we have 2 separate panels, and now tenants that are staying in the upper floor should have or will have access to their panel should any breakers ever pop or anything happen. They don't have to disturb the tenant in the basement to get the power turned on for a breaker. So everything is controllable within the unit and we've got space. So lots of natural light up here. Again, original hardwood floors are in good condition. Main bathroom on the upper floor is already renovated. We don't have to put any money into that. And we've got ourselves, really the only thing that needed to be done up here was the separation of the unit and the new electrical and panel that had to be brought in.
So quick pro tip, I love original hardwood floors. I know some of you watching may live in really nice homes and do not like these hardwood floors. Honestly, a lot of times like these hardwood floors as well. And this floor is in great condition. So we can just refinish it here. Yeah. And that will be the cheapest flooring option there is versus having to put something new on top or replacing it. Again, right. Refinishing, it's easier on the environment. And again, it is the least expensive option we have of flooring this floor.
Yeah, and it's a good quality, right? Like it is good quality floors. They don't make it anymore. I think that's a key point. So it's one of those things, might as well refinish, get some new life out of it. And then down the line, if you have, tenants damage it, you have options to replace and redo it if you want to, but you don't have to at this point, and it gives you some really good added features that a lot of other units won't have. Mm-hmm.
Now, unlikely there'll be much damage since the doorway is far away from the hardwood floor. It's usually, boots and snow and water from footwear that causes a problem. But again, this will be blocked off from the door, so this should last a long time.
I think so too. Yeah. It's lasted this long.
Beautiful house.
Okay, so we're in this backyard here in Quinte West. The really cool thing about Quinte West that is absolutely new is that just last week, council here has approved 3 units on the same property as per Bill 23 starting now. So before that ruling or before that decision, they were allowing you to do 2 units, either one in the basement in a duplex or one out in a garden suite, but you couldn't do both at the same time. You had to wait. Now it's actually gone past and you can do all 3 at once. So this particular property has lots of space. It's not so far deep, but it's very wide. And we already had this pre-existing garage, which is here. Now this garage is about 500 square feet, 600 square feet, good sized unit. The downside about it is it did not have a poured pad finish. It was done on gravel. Completely strange, but the structure itself is already here. So when our client decides or moves forward with the garden suite, it'll be his time to decide whether he just puts a foundation floor on that or does he remove the structure and start fresh in the middle of the lot? Either way, he will have lots of ample room to do this garden suite in this property.
And again, I always love properties with features and options. For example, we could always rent this garage as well.
In the meantime,
In the meantime, you can rent it to the tenants. You can have storage for your own equipment, your own materials, whatever you want. Again, I always love properties that have lots of value on them. And again, garages, especially two-car garages, detached, offer a lot of value.
Yeah, agreed.
Thank you for watching. If you want to learn how to invest in real estate from scratch, my team teaches beginners how to use the #1 investment strategy that I personally use in a virtual free training class every month. Go to investortraining.ca/YouTube to register for our next class. The link's also in the description as well. I publish at least 2 to 3 videos a week here, so subscribe if you want to keep learning from seasoned investors like myself and my guests. And if you're just starting out, feel free to ask questions and comment below, and I do the best to answer each of those comments and questions myself. Again, if you're ready to learn the nitty-gritty about real estate investing from a professional investor, register for our next virtual class. That's at investortraining.ca/YouTube. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next video.